go from here.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Okay. Yeah, I can hear you. Hi,
Hi, how are you?
I am fine. How are you?
Good, good. Let's wait for a few minutes and then we'll start.
Yeah, sure. Sure.
All right.
My voice is audible, right?
Yes.
Let's just hope the internet gods support us today.
Hmm.
Can you see how many people are live? I can't see.
Yes, I can see.
How many people?
Four are there. I'll start.
Okay.
My Passion, My Career welcomes all of you to our first Facebook Live session. Before I begin, I'd like to give a small introduction about myself and what we do at My Passion, My Career. I am Gauri Jain, a certified career counselor from UCLA, University of California, Los Angeles, and Univerity. As the name suggests, at My Passion, My Career, we help and guide students to follow their passion and take it up as their future career choices. At My Passion, My Career, it is our constant endeavor to help and guide and provide the best of the counseling support to the students and help them get closer to their dream career choices. Many a times, students are confused to take up to understand what career choices will be good for them, which will be interesting, challenging, as well as rewarding. Students are often scared to take up niche career choices like fashion designing, ethical hacking, graphic designer, etc. In today's session, we are going to cover one such career choice, fashion designing, and for us to know more about this, I have invited a leading fashion designer, Ms. Dhruti Galgali, who is working at the top fashion e-commerce company, Myntra. Welcome, Ms. Dhruti Galgali.
Thank you. Thank you
I
so much for having me.
I'd like to thank you for taking out time and giving us the valuable inputs and sharing your experience with all our students and our audience. I'm sure after this session, the students will be clear about what and how and when they should think of of taking up this fashion designing as their career choice. So let's begin. My first
Thank
question.
you, Gauri. It's an honor to be here.
Thank you. My first question to you is, can you tell me a little bit about yourself?
Sure. So my name, like you mentioned, is Dhruti. I am currently based in Bangalore, but because of the pandemic and the work from home scenario, right now I stay with my parents in Pune. I have completed my graduation from National Institute of Fashion Technology, Chennai, and I have gotten a degree in Bachelor's of Design, specializing in knitwear design. And currently I'm working with Myntra for the brand Masten Harbor as a women's wear designer.
All right. Can you please tell the name again of your brand?
Sure, Mast and Harbor, MAST and HARBOUR, Mast and Harbor.
Great. I'm sure people will really buy the this brand more now. All right.
Great.
So can you tell me what are the different areas of fashion designing that the students can opt for?
Sure. So, when I was young, and a lot of people actually still do have a misconception that fashion design is a very specific, basically what you see in movies. It's a very frivolous, it has a very frivolous lifestyle. You just live a very glamorous life and, have a certain attitude. But in reality, it's very different from that. There is so much you can pursue when you come in this field. Fashion design is just a small part of it. So once you pursue once you begin your career in NIFT, you graduate, there's so many fields you can go to. First is a regular fashion designer. Even in a fashion designer, there are various branches. You can design for a retail brand like how I work for, or you can work under a designer, or you can even design for your own brand if that's what you aspire to have, like your own brand. You can design for an export house, so you can become a fashion designer, or you can become a stylist. So basically what a stylist does is give fashion advice to the client and help coordinate your head to toe look, and everything including hair, makeup, what clothes you'll wear, how you'll wear it, and style it properly. And even the styling you can do in various ways. Like you can style for an individual client, it can be a regular person or a celebrity, or you can design for or you can style us for a movie or a film set, or you can style for a magazine. So there are various different styling aspects as well. Then you can be a merchandiser. So merchandiser, essentially what it does is it's a middleman between a designer and a vendor. So merchandiser ensures that the product that we design is available in the store, and how what quantity and how to get the product developed. That is basically a merchandiser's job. Then you can even become a fashion blogger, or you can even become pursue fashion communication, which is again a course in NIFT, and be a content writer in fashion. Or you can uh, and you can also become a model. So there are various fields that you can pursue once you do pursue fashion, and it doesn't necessarily just have to be what it's shown in the movies.
Great. All right. I think that's a great insight into the fashion designing world. And so, what out of these fields that you have mentioned, what is your forte?
So my forte is basically fashion design in women's wear specifically, and I design for a retail house. So retail, as what retail essentially means, is the brands that you see, when you go to a mall, or you see online on Myntra, or these websites. So my designs cater to basically a mass market. And basically I create commercial designs that people like you and me can buy. And even in brands, you will either get offline stores or online stores. Offline stores are basically you go to a mall and pick up a clothes piece of garment from there. But personally I enjoy online as well, because the scope and the reach is much more wider. Like my garment can be bought any from bought by anyone from Jammu and Kashmir to Kanyakumari. Anybody can buy it. So that's what I love about online. And online is the future. Even right now, if you see during the pandemic, very few people are stepping out and would prefer to go to a mall and shop. So you can easily sit at the comfort of your own home and design, shop online, and it will be delivered to your um, delivered to your doorstep. So I personally, this is exactly what my forte is, to be a retail women's wear designer for an online brand.
All right, fine. So, since you mentioned that you are the fashion designer in women's wear, so what, according to you, is the most favorite part of being a fashion designer?
Oh, interesting question, Gauri. So, my most favorite thing of being a designer is that I get to create new things every single day. I bring basically even today when I see my designs come to life, it gives me immense joy, and I am excited as a little girl. I get to basically create something out of nothing and bring new things into this world. That is my most favorite part of being a fashion designer.
Great, great. And I think you mentioned that you are the one, who's catering to the, fashion sense of mass, more number of
Yeah,
people. So I think that is one thing which, everybody looks forward to. So great.
absolutely. Yeah.
All right, fine. So you have become fashion designer. What skills you thought that you had in you when you chose this field for yourself?
So basically, if you want to pursue fashion design, creativity should be your fundamental asset. Like you should be able to look at a piece of fabric and visualize it, like how it will drape on a body, what kind of shape it will look good in, what kind of body type the fabric will look in. You should be able to visualize that piece of fabric into a final product, a garment. Other than that, I think you should have a keen eye for color and shape, because that really helps you. In my field, you should be able to visualize what color will go well with what color. You should also be able to spot trends very well, in terms of what is currently trending in ethnic wear, or what's currently trending in Western wear. You should be able to spot trends and analyze trends. And last but not least, I feel you should have good communication skills as well. Like you can tomorrow make the best designs, but if you're not able to communicate it properly and well to your client, it's of no use. So you should have good communication skills as well. It will also help to communicate tomorrow with your vendors directly. You should be able to communicate and explain to them what kind of what exactly you want in your design. So communication is also key to this field. I think these skills, I think you should have. And also obviously it's a bonus if you know sketching and painting, or something on those lines, although it is not necessary, like because once you enter the field, you don't really sit and sketch, you do everything digitally. But it helps a lot, even if you know how to sketch, it helps you translate those sketches digitally as well.
Correct, correct. All right. So, you said that you have graduated from NIFT Chennai, correct?
Yes, yes.
So, what is the qualification? What qualification you get from those institutes which are for for fashion designing courses which are
NIFT.
there?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So basically, NIFT, a degree from NIFT is like any professional degree that you get from a college. You can pursue it after your 12th standard plus two, basically after 11th and 12th standard, and you can basically be from any field. It doesn't matter. You can come from science, arts, or commerce. It doesn't matter. So after you complete your 12th standard, there is an entrance exam that you have to give. Um, if just like how you if you want to enter IIT, you have to give the JEE entrance exam. Similarly for NIFT, there is an entrance exam that you have to give. There are in fact two levels to it. The first level is just a written exam, and you would have to even draw. There are two sections. First is just general knowledge, maths, and few like theory exam, and second is multiple choice question, and second is a drawing base. They'll give you certain questions, and you have to visualize and draw. And once you clear that, once you pass that exam, then you have to second level is a situation test, which is basically a practical exam. You will be given 1 hour and few questions, and a limited amount of material, and you would have to create a 3D product out of it within that 1 hour. Once you clear that level as well, then there'll be a counseling session where you will be allotted ranks as per your score, and then as per your score and rank, you will be allotted a center, whether it's Mumbai or Delhi or Bangalore or Chennai. So after that, once you enter NIFT, there are various courses that you can do. First is the basic fashion design, where you would basically learn everything related to fashion design and basically specialize in woven. Then second is knitwear design, where you basically learn fashion design but primarily deal with knitted clothes, knitted fabrics. Then there is fashion communication, where you learn everything from photography to content creating, everything related to fashion journalism, basically. Then there is leather design, where you specialize in all the leather products and leather garments, leather bags, leather accessories. And then there is accessory design, where you will primarily learn everything from home accessories to jewelry to furniture, everything to do with accessories, bags, footwear, everything. And I guess yeah, these are the fields that you can pursue if you decide to opt for NIFT.
All right. So these fields that you mentioned, they are having different degrees given offered to them, or they all come under the
Absolutely,
same.
different degrees. So your overarching degree would be the same Bachelor of Design, but your specialization or your special, basically how you graduate with honors. Similarly, you will graduate with specialization. So I have graduated in knitwear. Suppose I had opted for accessory design, I would have Bachelors of Design specializing in accessories.
All right, fine. So, okay, great. So once you are in the college, do they teach you any kind of digital, do they give you enough exposure to digitalization and all these things, or you learn it only at your job, or how is it like?
No, absolutely. You learn everything. In fact, whatever that I'm doing right now in my job, everything that I have learned in college. And you do learn all the everything from sewing to painting to embroidery to even theory like marketing, because that is important as well. You should be able to market your designs, and you also learn digital, all the digital softwares like Photoshop, Illustrator. You learn everything in college. And NIFT even provides great opportunity for internships, where you can apply what you've learned in college and uh, you know use all those skills in internship and basically sharpen your skill set even further. And yeah, you learn everything and you get to apply everything as well. Everything that I've learned in NIFT, I am applying currently in my job. So you would get to learn everything.
Great. All right. So can I say that, NIFT and NIFT institutes which are there all across the country is like IIT of fashion design? Is it a correct statement to make?
Absolutely. Yeah,
All right.
absolutely. NIF, because it's a national level college as well, so it's almost you can say IIT of fashion.
Great. All right. Fine. So, these internships that you just spoke about, does the college give you enough? Does the college bring out these companies where you can intern yourself, or you have to go and fend for yourself?
No, you have to go and fend for yourself. College obviously does give you some contacts in case you do not get it by yourself. It does help you give certain contacts, but mostly you would have to do it yourself. And in fact, NIFT gives a lot of opportunities for internship as well. Like the first opportunities you'll get is after second year, where you'll get a 2 months internship, where you will get to work with an export house. And actually export house is a great way to learn how a garment is from scratch, like from, because everything happens in under one roof in an export house, from manufacturing to printing to washing to dyeing, everything happens under one roof. So it's a great help and great insight to see exactly what steps a garment goes through before you'll see the final product in your hand. So the first internship is an like I said mentioned, summer internship, 2 months only. And the second internship you'll get to do is after your in your fourth year, basically your final semester. Like how in engineering you'll get to do a project in the final semester, similarly you'll get to do a project which is essentially your own collection. You'll get to go in a company and basically create a collection for them, and you get to present that collection, whatever you've learned in those 6 months, whatever you've developed, you'll have to show it in your college and get your assessment based on it. and it's a great way to great way to get a taste of what the actual industry is like, because you actually work in that industry, and it helps in a smooth transition from college to work.
All right, fine. So you were saying about something about these collections, can you give in more information? What do you mean by collection?
So basically, by collection, I mean whatever. So in fashion, there are two seasons primarily in India at least. One is spring, summer, and second is autumn, winter. So each season you create a set of clothes based on that season. If it's autumn winter, you would create a slightly more winter driven collection, and if it's summer, slightly more summery and more light collection. So for that also, it's a long process. It starts from basically conceptualizing a big theme. Like, you simply can't just randomly make any clothes or any random things. You need to have a proper method and a proper thought process behind it. So firstly, you have to come up with a theme or a concept, like what concept or what theme would you like to have base your collection on. And after that, you do a lot of research, research as to what international brands are doing, what domestic brands are doing, what the blogs are doing, what social media is trending, what social media is saying in terms of fashion, and what the big designers on runway are doing. Based on all that research, you then marry the trends and your designs and create a consolidated capsule or a design collection, and then you create prints for it based on your collection and your theme. And then once that is done, an amalgamation of your sketches and prints and fabric and color, you create a wholesome design collection that then goes for processing and forms a proper collection.
Okay. All right. So that all these things that you mentioned, they are all taught to you in the in your fashion school.
uh, it is taught for sure, but not in so much depth that you need for your job. I think most of it you learn on the job, or learn a lot of it during your internships as well. You would
All
learn a
right.
very basic, a smaller part of it in college, much more, because you need a lot of depth and a lot of skills and lot of in-depth knowledge for it that you will learn on your job or in your college, in your internship.
All right, fine. So you just mentioned that you have to do a lot of research and all. So
Yeah.
how do you keep yourself updated with the latest fashion trends, and how do you come to a conclusion that this is going to be the theme for this particular collection? So how does it go about? So what sites or what
So
fashion designers you follow that that help you to come to a conclusion?
yeah. So as a designer, I have to constantly be up to date for all. Like I said, when we design, we have to constantly be up to date for the latest trends, because it's no point designing something that is out of fashion, out of date. I have to constantly keep researching. As I mentioned before, a lot of international brands, a lot of domestic brands, what are they doing? Then so because today we live in a world of social media, a lot of trends are now born from social media. So what the social media is talking about, the current social climate, and what are the events that are happening globally, because they also inspire fashion in a certain way. Then a lot of magazines, and in fact Bollywood also influences fashion in a big way, especially in our country. So Bollywood also, in a small way, not majorly. And other than that, we also have certain libraries and services that specially these companies are given, like WGSN or Promo Still, where it's basically like a fashion bible for us. A lot of current reports and a lot of trend forecasts are get given there. So that also we have to constantly read and be updated with, and we have to constantly brush up our skills also, and constantly see what new is happening and how can we bring newness in our garments.
All right, fine. So it is just as good as software which needs always updation. The old ones are
Absolutely. Yeah.
go outdated,
Yeah.
so the fashion sense also
Very
is.
well put. Very well put.
All right, fine. So, when you design a garment, like you would have just, recently you would have designed a collection, autumn winter collection. So, what things you kept in mind while designing that collection, or what generally you keep in mind when designing a collection?
Okay. Interesting question. And this answer will be different depending on who your client is. So since I work for a online website, I have to keep in mind certain things. First thing, what I have to keep in mind is the garment should be wearable. I can't make something absurd and which is not which a person can't wear day to day basis, because I design for a mass market. So I have to first make sure that the garment is wearable and it is not very avant-garde. After that, I have to make sure it's sellable. I can't make very, very complicated design that can't be mass produced. It should be, easy enough to be mass producible. So it has to be mass produced. Then I have to also keep in mind the price point. Since Myntra, works on a model that focuses on price point and has a little cheaper clothes as compared to other brands. We have to keep in mind our price point as well. Other than that, obviously I have to keep in mind the trends, the fabric, if what how the hand feel of the garment is. If I can create the best designs, but if it doesn't feel good on your body, if it's not if it doesn't have a good hand feel, people will not wear it. So I have to also keep in mind the fabric, the trims that will go in, like what kind of button, what kind of keep in mind, and the prints, like if I'm creating a garment, whether it will be a solid top. If I'm creating a top, so will it have a print like this, or will it be a solid? So all this I have to keep in mind while I'm designing.
All right, great. So when you appeared for the interview, with Mintra, what clothes you wore and what do you think? How does it impact the, favorable conditions of you being selected for the company? How does it affect that?
So basically, in our field, specifically and in general in interviews, I think you should wear what's comfortable, because if you're not comfortable, you won't be able to give your 100% in the interview. You should wear what's comfortable, and you should wear something that is you. Obviously, it would be a bonus if what you wear, aligns to the aesthetic of the brand. That would be a very good bonus. But in case not necessary that your aesthetic matches to the brand you'll work for. In case it doesn't match, at least I feel you should dress in such a way that your aesthetic reflects in your clothes, so that the employer gets a further insight as to what kind of a person you are. And obviously you have to be well dressed and well presented, especially since it's a fashion based field. You need to give a lasting first impression. And and one more suggestion that I'll give is to not overdo it, like not have too many accessories, or not have too heavy makeup. Basically keep it simple, stupid, like keep it simple, and be yourself, and wear something wear something trendy basically, and just be comfortable. That's it.
All right. And what kind of dress code you follow in the company, since it's a fashion based company, what like do you get to wear all the, glamorous clothes and all, or is it like very much corporate and very, soft and subtle kinds?
No, no, no. It's not corporate at all. Since it's a fashion-based field, and since it's specifically Myntra, it gives you the freedom to wear whatever you want. You can wear absolutely anything. Um, and but obviously, since it's Myntra and it's a fashion leader, most people dress very well, dress very fashionably, very stylishly, and style themselves very well, coordinate their head to toe look very well. So I do put in a lot of efforts when I'm going to office. I do pick my outfits mindfully, and accessorize it accordingly, and because um, obviously fashion is a visual medium, right? Like you would if I do tell I'm a fashion designer, the first thing you will see is what I'm wearing. So it is very important for me to present myself well. And you in my office, so you can wear absolutely anything, as long as it's presentable and it's decent, and um, yeah, and you should be comfortable in it.
All right, fine. So, I think, do you mean by this that, that when you are approaching a vendor, or when you're approaching a client, the client, the sellability of the product is higher if if it shows on you yourself. Is it like that? Or, I mean, if you are well
um,
dressed and if you are, well presented, and then then the sellability of the product is higher, or is it does not affect? How is it like?
I don't think it affects, because in the end they are not selling what I'm wearing. It'll only depend on what I have designed. So if my designs are not good, and if I'm wearing great clothes, it doesn't mean that it's going to sell. So it completely depends on what designs you're making, and how good those designs are. In the end, it's not going to matter what you are wearing. It's all about the business. Obviously, if what I'm designing is what I'm wearing, then it would really help. But otherwise, it won't matter.
All right, fine. So, tell me more about what kind of work is there in your office, and how is your day-to-day routine like in the office?
So for me, each day is pretty different. Like there is no set routine for my office. Each day is different, and we have a very stringent deadline, hectic schedule, and we have a very stringent deadline. Like we have to constantly, each week we have a new deadline. So each week's work will depend on what deadline we have. Some days, finish off the prints that we have to get printed. Some days it's about finalizing the color of the season. Some days the deadline is of completing the fittings. Like when once we get our garments, we have to try them on a model and see if the fit is proper, and it's looking good on her, and it's hugging at the right places, and it's not tight from somewhere. So we have to do those fittings as well. So the work is completely different each day, and it completely depends on what deadline we have that week.
All right, fine. So you were telling that you that one of the things to do in office is to see whether the cloth or a garment is fitting properly on a person or not. But then generally what happens is, all the models who are there, they are, really thin and
Yeah.
skinny, and you try a garment mostly on them. So how you are able to visualize this thing whether that particular garment is going to fit the other person or not? So what tools or techniques you use to, get to this conclusion or get this answer from the, problem?
Yeah, great question. Because of this, the model that we hire in Mintra is not the typical, size zero model. The model that we hire in Mintra is a regular body type person like you and me. We only fit the garments on her, and she's a regular body type. She's not a model body type. So we fit our garment on her only, and then give comments accordingly if there are any comments.
All right,
Because
fine.
tomorrow Mintra's consumer is not just models, and not we have consumers, and we have clients, and um, from all body types, right? Like from the skinniest and the heaviest as well. So we have to keep in mind that, and not just design for one body type, that is the skinny model type. So we try to fit on a regular body type, and then adjust the other sizes accordingly.
All right, fine, great. So, we're almost going to come to an end of the session. Just a few more questions left. Uh,
Okay.
why, since you have given so much of insight, it feels that, it is the way you're talking, it feels that, it came very naturally to you. You know,
Yeah.
it is not something which you had to really, make an effort to think about all these things, and then finally decide, acha, today, so now I'm going to become a fashion designer. It feels that it was a very natural progression from class 12th to fashion designing. So was it really like that, or there were in between some other things that happened? How we would like to know that story from you right now.
Actually, funnily, it was not always like that. Fashion design was not something I always knew or always wanted to do. It was quite a roller coaster of a journey. Um, to be honest, I actually have pursued my engineering before I pursued fashion design. I fell in love with science in seventh standard, and I dreamt of becoming a fashion engineer. So I went to an engineering college after my 11th and 12th. But um, down the road, once I entered engineering, I realized that it was not my cup of tea, and I didn't really enjoy it. I didn't really understand it. But then I didn't want to quit right away because I didn't know what exactly do I want to do. So once I decided to leave engineering, I went through a rigorous process of a lot of things. Mainly career counseling actually helped me a lot. I pursued a career counselor, and I went through a rigorous exercise where I re-evaluated my skills and I re-evaluated my likes and dislikes, and went through a long process. And the career counselor actually told that I have a great aptitude for creativity, and then we sat and discussed and pursued all the fields that I can pursue in that are related to creativity. And then slowly and steadily we arrived at each profession, and then we arrived at fashion. And when the career counselor told fashion design, almost like a lightning fell on me. It was like a eureka moment. And then I realized, oh yeah, why not fashion design? Because as a kid, I was always fascinated by fashion, but never really thought of pursuing it as a career. Even when I was in an engineering college, I was in a hostel. On the first floor, there were few girls who were fashion design students. So I used to always be excited about what is their assignment more than my assignment. And I used to always think, wow, how cool are your assignments, and how cool would it be if I were doing that too. So it was almost like a eureka moment. And then it was once we arrived on fashion design, I didn't really jump that wagon immediately. I had a break of 1 year in between. So for 6 months, I did a diploma in fashion design from INFD, where I sort of confirmed my passion that okay, this is where this is where I want to be, and this is where this is what I want to do. And the second 6 months, I did a small job in a brand called BB, and that's where I learned even more skills, and I reaffirmed my my choice that okay, this is where I want to be. And in that 1 year, I then applied for the entrance exam, and that's how I decided to become a fashion designer. And then I entered NIFT basically.
All right, fine. So it was quite a roller coaster ride, as you said. All
Absolutely,
right.
absolutely.
So tell me, according to you, is success? What? How do you measure success?
Oh wow, interesting question. So success is very subjective and it's different for different people. For me, primarily success is I am able to do what I love every single day, and go to bed happy and content of my day's work. For me, that is success. Like to be able to do what you love and be happy, and um, basically try to excel at it. That is success for me. And uh, I am thankful that today I am where I am today, and I get to pursue my passion every single day.
So according to you, can I say that following the passion is very important, because then you'll finally get to love what if I finally get to do what you love. So is it really really important to follow the passion, or there are other things that need to be there in
So
mind before you do that?
I'll answer this with a quote that I read somewhere. Do something that you love, and you'll never have to work a single day in your life. So this is what I read somewhere, and it instantly clicked with me. Do something that you love, and you won't feel like work every single day. It
All right.
helps, it eases the work, it eases the burden of work, as the typical work that you have to do, the 9 to 5 job. And if you do something you love, it doesn't feel like a 9 to 5 job.
All right. Fine. Great, Ms. Dhruti. I think I'm sure the audience is going to gain a lot of information from this video, and we'll just wait for a few more minutes and
Sure,
see if anybody wants to, raise a question or something, and then
sure,
we
sure, sure.
end it.
Thank you. This was a great, wholesome experience. I enjoyed being part of this.
Thank you.
Guys, if there are any questions, please write
Yes,
in the
please raise
comments.
any questions if you have. Write in the comment. Ms. Dhruti, can you see the questions yourself?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Hi, Pinky Didi. Hope you're well. Sri Lalit, absolutely well put. The way we dress at work does uplift our mood and enhances our productivity. Very well put.
I would like to ask you one more thing, Ms. Dhruti, is that once we finish this session, and then I'll post this video on the page, on my page and my profile. If there are any questions which the audience wants to ask, if you could give us, I'll just send the questions to you, and if you could give us the information regarding them, and
For
then I'll
sure,
be able
for
to
sure,
post the answers back to them.
for sure. I'll do my best.
All right.
Thank you, Nupur.
All right, fine. So we come to the end of our first session. And thanks a ton, Dhruti, again for giving us your valuable time and sharing your experience.
This
Thank you
was
so much.
this was truly an honor. Thank you. I really enjoyed this. I hope all the information comes helps at least someone who wants to pursue this field. And thank you so much. This was a great experience. And all the best for your my career, my passion, my career.
Thank you. Bye. Good day.
Bye. Take care.
Bye.